You wanna know how I got these scars? I'm a late night snacker and a pizza fiend. So one night I come home hungrier than usual. I start making pizza, but my dough wasn't cooperating. Not one bit. So I order some pizza, extra marinara. I dip the pizza in the sauce and then I pop it in my mouth and do this. Now I see the yummy side. Now I'm always smiling.
With all the crazies Batman has to deal with, I bet he could use a drink. Let's go see if we can make him a drink or two as we whip up some Gotham City Cocktails. Gotham City Cocktails by Andre Darlington is a collection of 70 recipes for flavorful cocktails and bar snacks inspired by Gotham City and its myriad of superheroes and villains. Now, I love the Batman movies, games, and cartoons, but full disclosure, I don't really drink. I have the taste buds of a 5-year-old, so I'm warning you ahead of time that I might not be the best judge of these drinks, but I want to show it to you anyway. As you can see, this book has a very condensed size and is small in stature. Might look a bit out of place in your bookshelf, but its handy size is perfect for the bar, I think. The cover is made out of this black fabric or felt type of material with some shiny gold foil printed accents for contrast. It looks really luxurious and looks and feels very fancy and premium, but the downside is the black material is kind of a dust and stain magnet and the gold print is easy to smudge out. The cover, as well as the rest of the cookbook, has that classic Art Deco style that you often see in Batman media, especially the animated series, so the overall design really screams Gotham City. Those Art Deco elements even extend to the drink photos themselves via the background elements and glassware, and it makes you feel as if these were taken in an actual Gotham City speakeasy. Even though I'm not big on cocktails, the drink photos all look unique, tasty, and they all make me want to take a sip. I just wish there were more photos. More than half of the recipes are pictureless, and that's probably to ensure that the book is still small and handy, but with how unique the drinks are and how amazing they look in the photos, I would have loved to see how more of them would have looked like. Each recipe page starts with a blurb that talks about what element of Gotham City inspired that particular drink, which are all pretty interesting to read. The recipe steps themselves are simple and easy to follow. There is a chapter at the end for bar snacks with the recipes that are a bit more involved. So for this video, instead of the usual 3 meals, I'll instead be making a couple of snacks and a few drinks to see what a night out tastes like in Gotham City. But before we head out to Gotham for a drink, why not consider getting fresh and tasty chef-crafted and dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep with Factor. I don't know about you, but with work, sleep, exercise, and editing taking up most of my days, sometimes at the end of the day I just want to relax, watch a show, or play a game. And as much as I enjoy cooking, the last thing I want to do after a long tiring day is chopping up veggies or waiting hours for something to cook. I'm a fan of tasty, quick, and healthy meals, and that's why I dig Factor's ready-to-eat meals. And it's actually really good. I'm fighting temptation to heat all of them up right now and just taste everything. And the best part, I don't gotta cut no onions, no waiting on water to boil, no scrubbing pots and pans. Just heat it up and microwave for 2 minutes and savor the good stuff. And Factor is super flexible too. If I'm going on vacation or if I have a lot of leftovers from a party, I can skip a week, pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime and make it work for your lifestyle. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code MisoHungrie50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code MisoHungrie50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Now let's head to Old Gotham to have a sip of Old Gotham. Apparently this is Gotham City's oldest cocktail and is the mixed drink that spawned all the others. This cocktail begins with a sugar cube, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and a teaspoon of water in a rocks glass. Muddle the sugar and smear it around the bottom of the glass until it begins to dissolve, then add in some ice and 2 ounces of rum. The cookbook also calls for candied orange peel and a lemon twist for garnish, but I couldn't find any candied orange peels, but since it's only for the garnish, I'm sure it's not going to affect the taste much. 1 drink, done.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I'm Batman.
Now let's go toe-to-toe with Batman's Rogues Gallery by trying out a drink based on the Dark Knight's immortal foe, Ra's al Ghul, called the Demon's Head. A cocktail that captures pure evil in a very pretty way. In an ice-filled glass, combine 2 ounces of vodka with a bar spoon of butterfly pea flower liquid. I don't have a bar spoon, so I'm using a teaspoon, which apparently holds the same amount. Then it says to shake a 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice with an ounce of Cointreau. You can tell I don't drink because I don't know you put this stuff in the glass and then you put the metal thing on top, but I completely did it the other way around. Should still taste the same though, I think. Strain this into the glass. It didn't really get that pretty color that's on the cookbook, and I really want that color, so I added a little bit more of that butterfly pea flower liquid. Yup, looks much better. That's the demon's head.
It's not who I am underneath. It's what I do that defines me.
Now we're gonna leave Gotham for a second and take a detour to Pena Duro, the infamous prison where one of Batman's most vicious adversaries, Bane, was incarcerated. In a glass, add in 3 lime wedges and a bar spoon of granulated sugar and muddle them together. Then add 4 mint leaves and continue to muddle gently. Then add in an ounce of white rum and an ounce of overproof rum. What's the difference? I have no idea. Stir all of that with some ice and top with some club soda. Garnish with another lime wedge, and that's it. A refreshing drink for all muscled up masked villains and heroes.
The mask isn't for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
Now for something even cooler. Let's try this icy drink inspired by the King of Cold, Mr. Freeze, who has a heart of ice. This cocktail is as bright and blue as Victor Freeze himself. For this, we'll need 1 ounce of white rum, an ounce of blue curacao, 2 ounces of fresh pineapple juice, an ounce of cream of coconut, and some ice, and shake them all together. Then strain them on some crushed ice. I tried to garnish with some pineapple slices like the book, but these kept falling, so I'm just gonna fill this up with larger chunks. With a drink this cool, maybe even Batman can be tempted to kick some ice.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Now with all these baddies, the least we can do is equip Batman with some gear, so let's make some Batarangs. This drink might not be a fighting tool, but it is a popular weapon of choice for Gotham City bartenders. For this, we'll be using 3 mint leaves, an ounce of gin, 1 ounce of blended scotch, half an ounce of fresh lemon juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, which is pretty much just reduced sugar water. Add to that a dash of orange bitters, shake and strain into some shot glasses. Again, another obvious sign that I don't drink is that I don't own proper shot glasses and instead using tiny strawberry jam containers. Please don't kill me.
I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
With all these drinks, we gotta make some bar snacks to pair with, so get your tickets ready and take a seat in Gotham City's famous cinema as we snack on some Monarch theater popcorn. First thing we gotta do is combine half a cup of unpopped popcorn with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Once the kernels are all coated, put them in a medium saucepan over medium heat and cover. Wait to let all the popcorn pop until the popping slows down to 1 to 2 seconds in between pops. That's when you know it's done. The recipe then asks to put all that popcorn in a paper bag to shake with the seasoning, but there's no way this is gonna fit in the paper bag I have, so I'll be mixing these in a bowl instead. Add in 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, half a teaspoon of curry powder, some kosher salt, and some black pepper. Toss that all around, mix, and lastly, top with some lime zest for garnish for a movie snack that's totally poppin'.
Oh, aha. I thought my jokes were bad.
Now we got something salty, let's make something sweet. We already made the drink version, so might as well make the snack version of these Batarang brownies. Who said Batman doesn't have a sweet side? For these brownies, the recipe calls for an 18 by 13 inch baking sheet. Butter that up, and once buttered, let's work on the brownie itself by melting 2 sticks of butter in a medium saucepan on medium-low heat. Also add to that 4 ounces of chopped unsweetened chocolate and let them both melt together. Make sure to constantly stir, and when melted, remove from the heat. Now add in 2 cups of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup of molasses. After that, stir in 4 beaten eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once smooth, add in half a cup of all-purpose flour, 3 teaspoons of cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of ground ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and mix everything well. Now pour the batter into the baking sheet and pop this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. I don't know why, but my brownies didn't really rise, so I let them bake for an additional 10 minutes, but I wasn't getting anywhere. I just let them cool and cut them in batch shapes with a cookie cutter. These Batarangs look more like cookies rather than brownies, but I don't know, I followed the recipes to a T, I swear.
Swear to me!
Calm down, Batman, let me try these out. Gonna go for the old Gotham first. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't sit right with me. I never had an old fashioned before, and I don't think it's for me. Maybe I added too many dashes of the bitters. I was actually hoping the sugar was going to help on this one since I like sugary drinks, but nah, this one is a bit too bitter for me. Let's go for the Demon's Head vodka. Yeah, I like this one much better. I like the refreshing tartness of the lime juice, which goes well with the citrusiness of the Cointreau, which balances out the kick from the vodka. Never had Cointreau before, but I kind of like it. The butterfly pea doesn't add any flavor, but it looks cool. Okay, time for some snacks. Let's pop in this popcorn. Oh yeah, this is good. I love the spice combination of the Old Bay and curry with a hint of limey flavor from the zest. I think I put a bit too much salt, but still, this is a winner. The coconut oil makes it nice and buttery. I might try to double the Old Bay next time since it's very curry forward. But yeah, I think this is my new staple popcorn recipe. Moving on to the Pena Duro. Looks super cool and refreshing. Not as strong as mojitos I've had before, but maybe I diluted it too much with the club soda. I really like the minty and sour notes though, and I can't really tell the difference between white rum and overproof rum when mixed together like this. I'm almost certain I didn't make this the optimal way, but not bad. Alright, let's try these Batarang brownies. Yeah, undercooked. The top part is pretty crispy, but the bottom is gummy. Not the most pleasant mouthfeel. I really wonder where I went wrong. Maybe it's because I used a silicone liner for the pan, or maybe I should have just used a smaller but taller baking sheet so it wasn't so flat. I'm gonna leave this mystery for Detective Batman to solve. Okay, time for the drink I'm most curious about. I love the blue color of this, and taste-wise, it's not bad as well. I like the sweet tanginess of the pineapple. The rum isn't too overpowering, but I actually thought the cream of coconut would have made it creamier. I also strained it, but there were still some coconut pieces that made it through, which I'm not the biggest fan of texture-wise in a drink. And finally, let's take a shot of these Batarangs straight out of my jam containers. Yo, this is actually pretty good. Very refreshing with the lemon and mint, and I surprisingly like them together with the gin and the scotch with a subtle sweetness from the simple syrup. By far my favorite out of these. So, is the Batman drink book any good? I'm not really the target market for this book, so I'm not the best judge, but in terms of presentation, I like the design, but I wish there were more photos for the recipes. Brownies were downies, but popcorn was poppin'.